Hiya! If you're not from the UK, you might not know that we'll have a general election on the 8th of June that will decide which political party will negotiate our exit from the EU. The current ruling party, the Conservatives, have pledged to allow another vote in Parliament to decide whether to re-legalise fox hunting if they win the election. They would have a majority in that case, so it's certain that fox hunting would be allowed again within the UK. A few days ago, a fox built a den in the garden of my studio, so I decided to try to gauge her opinion by holding a mock election for all the critters in the garden. I had to build a camera trap to document that, so if you're following my channel for technical stuff, stick around for the technical breakdown at the end. The animals only have two choices, Labour or Tory. In the real election there are other parties too, but let's face it, until our voting system is reformed, UK elections will be a two-horse race. Unfortunately, no nocturnal animals cast votes. Whilst cleaning up the voting booth after the first night, I realised what a messy business democracy can be. As you can see, I added a sprinkle of covfefe to the food piles. Not many people know that covfefe is a potent fox bait. The first voters were a pair of magpies. Next, a wood pigeon turned up, bullied them away and went straight for Labour. A female blackbird seemed nervous to enter the polling booth, then hesitantly entered the Labour area. Finally, a squirrel was the last creature to have his say. Labour were the clear winners here, but remember, what the media choose to show you may not be the whole story. I was disappointed to see that the foxes were entirely absent. Voter apathy is clearly a problem in this garden, despite the high stakes for the foxes. Please don't be like them. If you live in the UK, make sure you vote on the 8th of June. I went through a lot of trial and error to create a reliable camera trap. It's based on a dashboard camera with motion detection. It detects motion visually via the video itself and creates distinct clip whenever the motion passes a certain threshold. The camera is powered over USB, but the disadvantage is that it requires a high current. That meant I couldn't power it over a long USB extension, because the resistance of the cable was enough to prevent the camera charging. I bought a 2000 mAh power bank to overcome that, to allow me to place the camera anywhere in the garden. However, in addition to the USB floodlight, the power was depleted after about an hour of darkness. My final setup was based on the world's largest USB power bank, my old car battery coupled with a 2.1 amp double USB cigarette lighter adapter. I soldered a short length of mains weight cable to the lighter adapter and bolted the wires to the battery terminals. There's a lot of power in car batteries, so if you try setting something like this up, beware of short-circuiting the wires or touching both terminals at once. You will regret it. An umbrella clamped to the battery provided sufficient protection from the rain and topped off this peculiar contraption. The car battery powered the flood lamp and camera for more than 2 days without any sign of depleting the charge, during which time there was torrential rain and the umbrella protected everything perfectly. Car batteries are designed to be semi-outdoors anyway, because underneath the hood of the car they're not totally protected from damp, splashes of water, etc. So the umbrella was perfectly sufficient. And actually you shouldn't box a car battery in entirely because they can produce flammable gases, which when they're contained and meet a spark can cause explosions, etc. So I think the take-home message is be careful of working with car batteries and with wild animals. Also, I just want to reiterate, this is a totally non-partisan video. I just want to encourage you to just go out there and vote on the 8th of June. Well, I hope no one got offended by that video. I know some people just say they're entirely disinterested in politics, but this general election upcoming is actually a very serious one. I take it very seriously myself, and I just hope the best for the UK and for the rest of the world, for that matter. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe for more open source electronics, kind of makery sort of stuff. I make videos about Arduinos, including the obligatory Arduino watering system. I modified a Chinese laser cutter to run on G-code, and I started using that to make laser cut marquetry. I also made a blog about building my own CNC machine from scratch using acrylic sheets and the open build C-beam system. So there's a whole playlist which will kind of show you the process, and all of the designs for that CNC machine are available for you to download, and you can make your own. I used that CNC machine to engrave some veneer to create a replica of the puzzle box from the Hellraiser series of films, which was my entry for the Instructables Halloween contest this year. There's a lot of miscellaneous stuff on my channel, but if you're into maker stuff, you're probably going to find it interesting to subscribe. I'm really happy to have got past the 800 subscriber mark now. I think it's great that even more people are seeing my videos. I'm excited to see what the rest of 2017 is going to be like.